crew is here for this week's Test Miles. Pit crew Sean, Ryan, and Brad. Crew chief Jen, and our driver Nick Miles. Start your engines. It's go time.
For the next 60 minutes, Car Talk, talking trucks and SUVs and cars. In fact, anything with a throttle. It's your weekly automotive experience. I'm Nick Miles. You're listening to America's automotive radio show, keeping you connected with the automotive world. Locally created, nationally celebrated on this week's show. Well, we have picked some cars from the Test Miles garage to talk to you about. We'll have the automotive writer from Mashable, Nick Jeans, will be here to talk to us about Tesla and a recent story he wrote. We're going to hear all about the 2017 Honda Accord Hybrid from Davis Adams, who works for Honda. Dash for Kids is coming up, where you can help with raising some money. That's going to be happening at PIR, and Ryan's going to be talking about some products that he has been reviewing. So, Brad, what have you been driving this week?
Nick, last week I had a less than inspiring sedan. It's a value car, so that was fine. We'll just leave it at that. This week, going out to the garage, there was a gorgeous red Mazda 3 hatchback, and I opened it up, and it had a 6-speed transmission, manual transmission. I was so excited. My old heart fluttered.
I don't think it was anything to do with the car, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
You probably didn't take your heart meds that morning.
Exactly. But Mazda states that it exceeds expectations. But lately, our expectations of Mazda are pretty high. And even with that, I was really excited, and it matched everything. I mean, the performance, styling, handling, fuel economy, all spectacular in this vehicle. And then the backup camera is standard on all Mazda 3s now. So this is the third generation 3. They've built 4.5 million of these since 2004. Mazda 3 is their best-selling nameplate. 5-star crash rating. It's got a couple of engine options, the 2.0, and then I had the 2.5 that pumps out 184 horsepower. Still gets me 37 miles per gallon on the highway.
Nice.
And 27 in town. So the 5-door hatch is what I had. Top-end price at about $27,000 with all the technology and all that. But base price for a five-door hatchback with the 2.0, which is still a terrific engine, is only $18,500. So we talked about
under
value last week. Under $20,000 for a lot of car. And it's got this Skyactiv technology, which is every aspect of the vehicle is engineered to maximize the riding dynamics and fuel economy and all that. Its competition is maybe the Ford Focus, Kia Forte, the Impreza, all of which do their own individual things well, but I don't think any of them do them as well collectively as the Mazda 3. So a big 10 for me on this car.
This car was also a nominee for Car of the Year a couple of years ago when it came out.
Yep. And at 2012, I think, was the last generation of this vehicle, and it's pretty spectacular.
I actually like the interior design in this car. I think that's the best part of the car is the actual
I love the
styling
paint
of the interior.
Yeah, it's the driving experience of a Mazda for me.
And I like their paint colors too.
Right, especially the red.
Yeah, that's what we had in this.
Yeah, that has that special nozzle where they use some special technology to lay every piece of metal metallic in the same direction. So if you look at different angles, it looks completely different.
But talking about the driving experiences, it's a nice driving experience, but it's not like the old Mazdas where there was just the zoom factor.
You think
it's
so?
Lost some. Yeah, it's fun, but back then when they didn't care about fuel economy, it was really fun.
I would disagree. I think they're still fun driving. It's one of those cars where you can sit in the passenger seat and go around a corner at 80 miles an hour and not feel like you're going around a corner at 80 miles an hour, which I like.
I got an ooh from a passenger, which I was like. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, let's go on. Sure. What were you driving this week?
I actually had something that competes with it, not the hatch, but the sedan, but I had the Toyota Corolla Special Edition. And the Special Edition comes in a red color, 17-inch gloss black rims, and a custom interior with kind of red pinstriping all through it. I love the styling on the car. It looks good. They have a little aggressive grille, which it's good for Toyotas. They're not as boring as they used to be. You could actually walk up and this car looks nice to look at. Some tech, they have a 6.1-inch touchscreen with their in-tune premium audio sound. So you can have tons of apps like Facebook, Places, Pandora, Yelp. It's cool if you want to Yelp from your car instead of your phone.
Can I chase Pokemon with it?
No, stop.
I want to.
While you're driving.
I don't
No.
think that app's out yet, but it should be.
I'm gonna smack the back of your hand if you continue.
No, that's how you get your steps in, so you can
Stop.
evolve your Pokemon faster.
Stop.
Has a 1.8 liter engine, 140 horse, which doesn't scream at anything. But the good thing is the fuel economy. You get 28 in the city and pretty close to 40 on the
So
highway.
wait, Brad, what was yours? How many horsepower
185.
versus?
140. Wow.
I think the Mazda's more,
Yes.
if I do my math right.
Grade 1 math. Yes, you're correct, Brad.
Thank you.
Jen, could you give him a gold star, please?
Why'd you have to use your fingers for that one? But I mean, if there's tons of room inside, it's not a great drive. It's just, it does what it does. You get great reliability and the car will last forever. That's what I can't say anything bad about it, but I can't say how great the drive was and how it excited me to drive it. But it's great to drive around. I mean,
They are very reliable cars, and one of the things I like about them is you can drive them 80,000 miles
But-
and forget to change the oil, and they'd still start.
starting
every time.
price $17,300. That's a great price to get into a car.
It is. Good one for you. I was driving the GMC Arcadia, the brand new 2017 version. This does a 5, 6, or 7 passenger version of the vehicle. 8-inch sunroof, touchscreen, stability control, programmable lift gate. There is a nice little button on the side that tells you can have it the lift gate open half, 3/4, or all the way. So you can decide where you want it to open rather than have to work out by pressing buttons how to set it. So if you're a shorter person of stature like I am and you only want it to go up halfway so you can reach the button to close it again, you can actually just turn the button to program it to have it go only halfway open. 3.6 litre V6 or a 2.5 cylinder 2.5 litre 4-cylinder, 193 horsepower up to 310. Of course, we had the 310 horsepower version. For four-wheel drive, or they like to call it all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive, and it does it automatically, which I really like about it. We took it up to Larch and we played around it. It needed a good washing, let me just say, when we brought it down. 6-speed auto, 21 miles a gallon city, 26 highway. Its competition is the Toyota Highlander and the Honda Pilot. I always thought the Highlander had the largest rear second row seat space for legs, but apparently this is larger in the back than the Highlander, which I was kind of impressed about.
The third row or the second row?
Second row. Third row in this, the car is actually 2 inches shorter than the last version. So it's one of those medium-sized SUVs that got smaller rather than larger. It doesn't feel comfortable that there's a third. We had, just to make sure it was a real third row, we had to find the seat belts in the third row. It does have, because the seats were folded down. So it's one of those cars I like to call a pub row, where you could have some friends in the third row when you came back from the pub, but you don't really want anyone back there for more than 20 minutes. It's a kind of a small space. 6 trim levels. It starts with the SL all the way up to the Denali version, which we drove. The second row has a very interesting piece of technology. If you've opened the door and the second door, the rear door, and then closed it before you started the car, it will ding at you, warning you that there could be something in the back seat. Because you go to the car, you open the second row, you put the child or you put shopping in the back, then you drive home. When you turn it off, it dings saying, hey, reminder, check the back seat, because you opened that back door and you may have put a child or something in that back seat, which is kind of an interesting...
So Brad can't forget his kids
Yes.
and
So
actually
what are
say
they
he forgot
saying
them.
about their buyers?
Well, they're saying don't leave your kids in the back seat when you go into the store. You know, it's a semi-safety thing. Starts at $29,000, goes all the way up to $45,000 base price. Ours was $52,000. Very well loaded vehicle, but smaller than they have been in the past. All right, still to come on the show, Nick James from Asheville is going to be here. We're going to be talking about an article he wrote about Tesla. Davis Adams from Honda, he's the West Coast PR manager. He's going to be here, and we're going to also talk about how you can help raise some money at PIR coming up next weekend. That's to come on Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles.